headlamps. Before electricity, light was tricky business. Tricky business, or you can call it as deceiving business. We have the first word tricky and the second word deceiving. I need to show you these two words. So here first of all, you can see the word tricky here. This is an adjective, and you can use something like deceiving. You trick somebody, but trick is not as severe as deceive. So if you want to talk about this kind of business in this word, we are gonna use the word like deceive, okay, not trick. It's like trick or treat when it comes to Halloween occasion or okay holiday, and the kids go to houses and they ask for trick or treat. But here it's not for children anymore, it's for people. So here again, that is why in this kind of business word, or in this kind of real word, we are going to use the word deceive, tricky business or deceiving business. You can add verb in to be an adjective. How do I make adjective? If I use an action verb, first I can use verb in as an adjective, or I can use verb 3 ed as an adjective. Verb 3 ed, verb 3 ed as an adjective. So this is the case of it. If I use verb 3 ed as an adjective, I just want to tell people that the situation is in the passive stage. And if I use verb in as an adjective, I just want people to notice the real case of the happenings. So here, tricky business, deceiving business. All right, light was deceiving business. It means before they don't have electricity, nobody has electricity. They need to use light. And where do people get light? Back in the past, people didn't have electricity. People needed to buy candles or oil lamps from the market, and that is why that was the reason why they confirmed to us that light was tricky business. It means in order for the prehistoric people to get light, they needed to go to the market to buy candles. And when people went to markets to buy candles, there were lots of tricks in the market. People tricked other people for money because okay, these kinds of people sold candles for example, for 10,000 Vietnam, but the other people sold candles for 20,000 Vietnam. So they started. So it was such a trick in money when it comes to trading. When it came to trading in the past. That is why okay, they say before electricity, light was tricky business, which means before we didn't have electricity. If we wanted to have light, we had to buy candles, and candles were not cheap in the past. Candles were expensive, but somewhere somehow they sold more expensive candles. So people tricked other people for money. That was why okay, they said tricky business in this case. Flames cast flames cast limited light are vulnerable. Flames cast limited light are vulnerable to winds and weather and can lead to disaster. Cast, okay, it's not like casting in a movie industry. It's not like casting for an interview. Flames cast limited light. Limit, you see, action verb number 1, verb 2 ed, and the next action verb okay is are, and the next one that is can in English. You see a two comma here. So flames cast limited light, which means okay the flames from the candles produce the kind of light, and this light is not bright enough. That is why okay people keep saying that limited light. It means the light is not bright enough for people to see, and okay the flames keep producing light, but this kind of light has some limitation. That is why they say limited light cast here, you can think of the word cast, flames cast. It means, okay, flames produce, flames make, for example. Vulnerable to winds and weather, which means, okay, a person feels vulnerable. It means a person feels very hurt inside their heart. But here, okay, we don't feel hurt. Here, okay, in this case, they use the word vulnerable for things. Flames are vulnerable to winds. Flames are vulnerable to weather. It means flames are damaged by winds. Flames are destroyed by weather. Okay, so when you use the word vulnerable, when you use this word vulnerable, you have to be careful. You have to be careful of the subject. If the subject of the word vulnerable is a person, it's just gonna be hurt feelings. But if the subject of the word, if the subject of vulnerable is a thing, it's gonna be like damaged. So we have two cases for this word. First, okay, to be vulnerable, it depends on the subject. It depends on the subject. Subject to be vulnerable. And the next one, okay, subject also here. The next one, that is people. If you use people as a subject of vulnerable, it means hurt. Okay, people feel hurt. People feel vulnerable. So we need to use to be here. To be here in this case. On the next one. Okay, and the next one, subject is a thing in English. If things are vulnerable, it means things are damaged by what? So here, please be careful. Damaged, okay, damaged by something else. So this is the case of it. This is the case. How do I make the words look smaller, guys? I don't know how to. Alright, it doesn't matter. So flame cast limited light, are vulnerable to winds and weather. Flames are damaged by winds and damaged by weather and can lead to disaster. Flames come from candles, and when we use candles, we are gonna have flames on here. When you use candles, but you don't watch out for the candles. The candles may cause disaster like fire. So your house will be on fire, or your place will be on fire because you don't pay attention to the surroundings or to the happenings when you use candles. So here, that is why they say that can lead to disaster, lead to, result in. Please remember, you have like lead to, result in. All right, cause, something like this, very easy. Making fire portable and dependable was so difficult that lights on moving vehicles were hardly ever considered. Lights on moving vehicles were hardly ever considered. Hardly. Oh, this word makes me remember of the name of the favorite character that I watch on Netflix. He's called Heavy Spectre or something like this. Hardly. So hardly ever. Hardly ever. Here in this case, you can think of something like no. So when you want to say no, you can use the word hardly ever. I hardly agree with you. I don't agree with you. I hardly think about you. I don't think about you. I hardly practice my English at night. I don't practice my English at night. So here they use the word hardly ever, the same as not in English. Were hardly ever considered, were not considered. And here considered can be thought, can be used. So here we have two ways for you to think about consider. When you say consider, first you think about the word think. Second, you think about the word use, for example. All right. So here they say making fire portable and dependable was so difficult that lights on moving vehicles were not used, which means they want to make fire portable. They want to make light easy for people to use. They want people to be able to carry light wherever you go, just like a flashlight. You can bring a flashlight wherever you go. You can bring the candle wherever you go with, okay, the cigarette lighter. So when you go inside the forest, you can light up. You can light up the cigarette light. You can light up the lighter, and you can catch fire for the candle, and then you can say that I can carry my candle everywhere with me. When you use the word portable, it means you can carry it with you everywhere and every time, just like your phone. Make fire portable, which means make candles portable. Make candles easy for people to bring wherever they go. And make fire dependable. It means when they make fire dependable, which means they will make people depend on fire. I make fire dependable. It means people can depend on fire. I make myself become a dependable teacher. It means other people can depend on me. So when things are dependable, it means other things, other people can depend on those things. So A is dependable, B can depend on A. C is dependable, D can depend on C. So when something is dependable, it means that thing can be used by other people. That thing can be consumed, can be used, can be taken by other people. So that is dependable. Making fire portable. Making fire easy for everybody to bring it everywhere with them. Making fire dependable. Make fire to be ready. Make fire be ready for everyone to use. So that is dependable. Ready for use, ready for cooperation. So here, making fire portable and dependable was so difficult. So that can be used as because. So difficult because lights on moving vehicles were not considered. It means the moving vehicles, like the moving motorbikes, like the moving cars, when the vehicles move so fast, we cannot catch up with the speed of the light from the vehicles. I use the word catch up with, right? Catch up with. All right, catch up with. It means how good. So what I say, okay, we cannot catch up with. We cannot catch up with the speed of the light. When you drive a vehicle, your vehicles are moving very fast, and the light from the light bulb inside your vehicle is flashing light, is producing light, and the flash, and the light from your vehicle is gonna move with your vehicles. So that is why when your friend sits at home and he sees you driving driving past his house, he cannot take the light from your vehicle. So this is the meaning of this sentence. Lights on moving vehicles were very hard for us to catch. Lights from moving vehicles were very hard for us to keep. Or lights on moving vehicles were not caught or were not used. What they want to say in this sentence is, if they create light, and this kind of light, will not be always ready for people to use, because for example, the light on the moving vehicle will go with the vehicle. The vehicle goes to the left, the lights will turn to the left. The vehicles go to the right, the lights will turn to the right. And the vehicles go straight forward, the light will go straight forward along with the vehicles. So that is the reason why they say that lights on moving vehicles were hardly ever considered. Lights on moving vehicles were unable to be detached and were not easily used. Như vậy trong cái câu này, khi mình đọc tới cái câu này đây thì bạn sẽ cảm nhận được rằng là cái chữ mà mình đang có cái chữ được gọi là, thứ nhất là portable. được gọi là mình có thể đem một cái gì đó đi tới bất cứ nơi nào mà mình muốn, đi tới đâu mình cũng mang nó đi theo được hết, được gọi là portable, nó tiện dụng á. Phones are portable. I can bring phones everywhere with me. Còn cái gì mà dependable có nghĩa là mình có thể dựa dẫm vào nó để mình khai thác nó được, hoặc để mình xài nó được. Phones are dependable. It means I can depend on my phone for working. Và ở đây nó đang nói về lửa, nó đang nói về ánh sáng, nó nói về cái lửa, cái ánh sáng, ok, nó rất là tiện dụng, nó có thể mang đi tất cả mọi nơi, và nó có thể giúp cho mọi người, ok, khai thác tối đa cái sử dụng của nó. Như vậy mình khai thác, mình có thể sử dụng cái gì đó một cách tối đa, một cách tối thiểu, một cách tối đa nha, thì mình có thể dùng cái tính từ là dependable, gọi dịch ra trong từ điển là phụ thuộc. Nhưng mà khi mà dùng dependable nó không còn ở nghĩa phụ thuộc nữa, mà cái nghĩa nó sẽ rộng hơn, nó sẽ bigger, có nghĩa là cái gì đó được khai thác một cách triệt để, có thể sử dụng được, có thể có ích cho mọi người, và có thể khai thác một cách triệt để là cái gì đó dependable. Như vậy light, ánh sáng, ok, ánh sáng có thể tiện dụng được, có thể tiện dụng mang đến bất cứ nơi nào, và ánh sáng, ok, rất là thuận tiện cho mọi người sử dụng, nhưng nó rất là khó để sản xuất cái ánh sáng mà có thể mang đến bất cứ nơi nào. Tại vì nè, that là tại vì cái ánh sáng mà ánh sáng mà nó đến từ những cái phương tiện mà đang di chuyển đấy, nó rất là khó để chúng ta giữ lại. Thì đây là cái cách mà nó nói mà ví von trong văn tự trong tiếng Anh. Khi mà mình đọc văn tự thì không thể nào mà mình cảm nhận được khi mà mình dịch ra tiếng Việt, tại càng dịch ra tiếng Việt thì nó càng mông lung. Thì cái cách hiểu cái câu này nó có ý nghĩa rằng là để làm được một cái thiết bị dụng cụ chiếu sáng, thì cái thiết bị dụng cụ chiếu sáng này thứ nhất là phải portable, phải có thể đem đến đi đâu cũng đem được hết, nó rất là thiết bị dụng cụ chiếu sáng đi đâu cũng mang được hết, phải là portable. Cái thứ hai, cái thiết bị dụng cụ chiếu sáng này phải giúp cho người tiêu dùng khai thác tối đa cái hiệu quả của nó, được gọi là dependable. Nhưng cái thiết bị ánh sáng, đặc biệt đối với cái thiết bị ánh sáng, rất khó để sản xuất nếu mà nó gắn ở trên những cái phương tiện di chuyển. Tại vì khi mà phương tiện di chuyển thì cái ánh sáng nó sẽ đi theo, thì nó sẽ không chiếu sáng được những cái không gian còn lại. Cho nên khi mà bạn chỉ mua một cái chiếc xe thôi, và cái ánh sáng đó nó nằm trong cái đèn của chiếc xe đó, thì mình không có thể nào mà sử dụng cái xe đó mình mang vào nhà bếp để mình chiếu sáng, để mình nấu ăn. Mình cũng không có thể sử dụng cái xe đó để mình mang vào phòng khách để mình đọc sách. Cho nên thì khi mà mình sử dụng ánh sáng mà người ta nói là cái ánh sáng, cái ánh lửa đó, cái ngọn đèn chiếu sáng đó, nó portable, nó có thể mang đi bất cứ nơi nào, và nó thuận tiện, dependable, thì lúc này những cái ánh sáng này nó rất là khó để mình duy trì mình sử dụng. Tại vì mình muốn sử dụng nó thì mình phải đem nó vào phòng, mà đối với những cái phương tiện mà di chuyển nó có một cái đèn riêng của nó, thì chẳng lẽ đem cái phương tiện di chuyển này vào phòng ngủ để chiếu sáng, chẳng lẽ đem cái phương tiện di chuyển này vào phòng khách để đọc sách, hay là đem cái phương tiện di chuyển này vào phòng tắm để vệ sinh cơ thể, thì không bao giờ được. Thì ý đó, cái câu này nói là như vậy. Were hardly ever considered, có nghĩa là những cái ánh sáng, những cái đèn chiếu sáng ở trên những cái phương tiện di chuyển, mà trong cái tình huống để sản xuất ra được thiết bị chiếu sáng thuận tiện mang bất cứ nơi nào mà con người muốn, thật sự rất khó để cân nhắc cái trường hợp này. Thì cái từ consider nghĩa thứ nhất là cân nhắc, nghĩa thứ hai mà dịch theo cái chiều hướng này mình có thể dịch là theo cái chữ mà sử dụng trong tiếng Anh. Đây là cái đoạn đầu tiên nha. Đoạn đầu tiên thì mình sẽ thu âm từng đoạn. Đoạn nào xong thì mình sẽ gửi, mình up lên. Còn đoạn nào mà tiếp tục thì bắt đầu mình thu âm, mình gửi tiếp tục. Alright, và bây giờ thì mình làm đoạn đầu tiên. Bạn nào mà xem cái video này thì mấy bạn nhớ gửi cho mình comment nhé. Và ở đây là mình sẽ ngưng cái việc thu âm nè.
Recording stop.